Visit to the Blue Spring Heritage Center in Eureka Springs. I'm going to ask you to please excuse the buzzing sound on some of the audio. I've got a new gimbal that decided it wanted to vibrate, and all those vibrations were picked up on the audio. So you'll see a lot of times where I'll be talking, but the audio doesn't match. It's because I had to do voiceovers to get it straightened out. But other than that, hope you enjoy the video. Thanks for stopping by.
When I was walking just to pass the time, I was losing sleep, losing my mind. The sun wouldn't rise for the sake of me. It just sat back behind the sea. When I was hollering for my mother, the sky refused to give me cover. It just cried to save my soul and lay it out tomorrow. And so I look up at that morning sun and howl till it give me some. I look up at that morning sky and howl until it's mine. I look up at that morning sun and howl till it give me some. I look up at that.
The Blue Spring Heritage Center. You enter in through the gift shop and souvenir shop. Folks in here are very nice, very pleasant. And as you exit out the back of the gift shop, you enter onto the plaza. And the first thing that kind of gets your attention there is just the peace and quiet. Once you exit that building, it's like stepping into an area of tranquility. It's hard to kind of describe the feeling of it, but as you walk through the area, you've got a water wheel over there to your left, and the visitor center is right straight ahead. And as you enter the visitor center, you're met by a number of displays on the wall, lots of artifacts that were found right there at the site, as well as some artifacts from the city of Eureka Springs. Next, you enter into a video room where a video is playing that it describes what Blue Spring is and some of the discoveries that were found there, as well as the history of some divers that decided to explore the spring. Now, this spring is over 500 feet deep, and it's very narrow at the bottom. If you picture a funnel, that's kind of what this spring looks like. It's approximately 75 feet across at the top where we'll be walking, and it narrows down all at the 500 foot level to 2.25 feet, and through this hole 38 million gallons of water flows every 24 hours. Visitor Center and walk down the stairway towards the Blue Spring in the lagoon. You'll walk across an area called the Azalea Terrace. This is a terraced area of ground that has tons of different types of plants and flowers in the area. Again, it's a pretty easy walk to get down these stairs, and it's striking as you get close to the bottom of the stairs. You see this bright blue lagoon ahead of you. It's just very eye-opening to see water so blue in such a green space. This is a forced march that took place. It went from Echota, Georgia, to what is now known as Oklahoma. The Cherokee Indians had lived in Georgia for more than 500 years, but yet they were ordered to leave for land set aside for them what is now Oklahoma. 13,000 Cherokee left Georgia on the forced march, the last of September in 1838. After a winter's march, only 7,000 survived. Here at the Blue Spring, some of the Cherokee rested and waited for stragglers alongside the Blue Spring.
Hopefully you can see this on this camera. This is what's called the Indian Bluff Shelter. And apparently during the Trail of Tears march, this is where a lot of the Indians sought refuge out of the weather, was underneath that bluff. And we're going to get a little bit closer look at it here in just a couple of minutes.
Is a National Historic Area, and for thousands of years American Indian elders have told stories of visits to Blue Spring and the important ceremonies held in the bluff shelter that served not only as a refuge but also a sacred place for ritual. In 1971, students from the University of Arkansas conducted an archaeological dig of the small bluff shelter next to Blue Spring. They found prehistoric artifacts, shellfish, the bones of deer, turtle, and other fauna. Some date back as far as 8,000 BC. They also uncovered fire pits and evidence of life, such as small arrow points and a woodward plane pottery, confirming the presence of American Indians dating back as far as 1700 AD. It made mention of petroglyphs and hieroglyphs that were in the rocks. So I decided I'd get a little closer look at it. Unfortunately, the only thing that was really visible is modern day hieroglyphs. People obviously got up onto the rocks, scratched their names and initials and little sweet slogans into the rocks. This is so sad because this area is thousands of years old, and here within just the past few years, somebody has graffitied the wall. If you see anybody doing this, report them to the rangers. This is senseless. It's a senseless act of vandalism. You know, it's interesting to note where the Blue Spring Lagoon meets the White River that none of the river water has mixed into that end of the lagoon. The water is still blue well out into the river. I guess that's what 1.6 million gallons of water per hour does when it comes time to mix. Alright, so I guess I'm going to take a little bit of a break here. Get overlook for the White River, where the Blue Spring meets the White River. And to remind you guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and share. Show it to everybody. This area of Eureka Springs is very, very pretty, especially this time of year. A little bit on the warm side. It's probably 85 degrees today. Very light breeze, so it's a little humid. But other than that, I mean, it's gorgeous out here. Like I said, nice and quiet, peaceful. No, hardly anybody out here. It's pretty drive getting here. The views are fantastic. So, hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, thanks everybody for watching. Please stay tuned for our Fallen Law Enforcement Officers Memorial at the end. And thanks again. Don't forget to subscribe.